call tonight's meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Trustee Braden. Here. Trustee Mirabella.
Here.
Trustee Weiss.
Here.
Trustee Whitmore. Here. Mayor Bruno.
Here. Please stand for tonight's invocation and pledge of allegiance. I will lead us in the invocation. Let us bow our heads in prayer. Heavenly Father, we adore you, we bless you, and we glorify you. We thank you for all the blessings you have bestowed upon us. We ask you, dear Lord, to look favorably upon our meeting this evening. Help us to discern the needs of our community. Give us the strength and the courage to debate our concerns and issues in a peaceful and caring manner. Guide us in our deliberations and make them beneficial to all those you have entrusted in our care. May all our works give you honor and our lives proclaim your goodness. We ask this in your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item, I need a motion to approve the August 15th, 2023 regular board meeting minutes.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion on the minutes? Roll call, please.
Braden. Aye. Mirabella.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Whitmore. Aye.
Motion carried. Next item, under Mayor's report, I need a motion to set aside the rules of the President and Board of Trustees to waive the first and second readings of ordinance adopting by reference of the Lake County Watershed Development Ordinance.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Braden. Aye. Mirabella.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Whitmore. Aye.
Motion carried. Another thing I want to say, I want to thank all the volunteers we've had, especially with Rumble in the Harbor and the Carnival or Summer Fair. If it wasn't for volunteers, a lot of the events would not be able to take place. So I really want to thank all the volunteers that have come out to help us, and primarily these two events, but other events have happened in the past. And I'm sure there'll be volunteers that will be helping us with events in the future. So, and that's all I have. Village Administrator's report. David?
Just something really brief, Mayor. We're fortunate enough to be in a community where we're surrounded by a lot of natural amenities, the parks, the lakefront, and we're fortunate enough to have a lot of wild turkeys that are very popular in the community. Some of the staff members have went ahead and did on their own time, not on village time, did their own turkey app where they can report sightings, take pictures, and everything is going to be put on an app where you can actually track and monitor the turkey sighting. So it seems to be very popular. So if you can take a look at our Facebook page, that turkey app is on the.
My wife loves it.
In 2 days, I've had at least 10 people reach out to me saying that this is the best idea and they love it, and so, good job.
And yesterday when I spotted them on my walk, I took pictures and going to post them myself. I'm not sure if it actually went through, but I did. I think it's fun too. It's pretty, it's a cute little way for the community to come together. I like that.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Anything else, Dave?
That's mine.
All right, thank you. We move on to clerk's correspondence.
I have none.
Someday you're going to have some. All right, thank you, Julie. We move on to new business, committee reports, administration and community development committee. Trustee Braden.
And I make a motion to accept the accounts payable warrant to 2023-6 in the amount of $301,449.78.
All right, any discussion on the warrant? Roll call, please.
Braden.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
Motion carried.
I make a motion for the approval of the employee lease agreement extension with GovHR.
Second.
Any discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Braden.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
Very good. Thank you, Trustee Braden. We move on to public safety. Trustee Weiss.
Thank you. I move to accept the quote from Tech Systems for the installation of 2 cameras and 2 electronic door fobs in the amount of $3,107.50.
Second?
Any discussion on that item?
That's in the budget, right?
That was budgeted under the capital improvement project for the garage conversion,
Okay.
the evidence room conversion. What those will do, those electronic fobs will allow us to track who enters and when, versus just a security key.
I think that's huge.
Yeah.
The same thing with the security cameras, we'll be able to monitor if there's any unauthorized access
Nice.
to them or who's going in when.
That's great. Love it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, roll call.
Braden.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
White.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
Motion carried.
I move that we approve the fire department policies and procedures pertaining to assistant chief job descriptions, fire station security policy, and vote number 171, operations procedure.
Second.
Any discussion on that? Roll call.
Braden.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
White.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
Motion carried.
I move that we approve the contractual services agreement between the Village of Winthrop Harbor and the Board of Education of Zion-Benton Township High School, District Number 126, for the provision of security services.
Second.
All right, discussion. I think, Dave, you had a conversation with Jesse Rodriguez.
Actually, the chief followed up with that
Okay.
conversation.
It's good. We're part of the boosters.
We've done this before.
We've done this a lot in the past, and it's a great way to get out there, and our kids go there. You know, our kids, Winthrop Harbor kids are at the football games. It's just a great way to get the officers to get to mingle with the kids and the high school kids.
The other thing is it takes the burden off one agency to provide security for residents of Winthrop Harbor and Zion. So it helps us build a partnership with Zion by taking some of the burden off them and contributing something to an event where Winthrop Harbor students are going. And like Trustee Marabella said, it does allow us to keep in contact with the kids that have graduated from there and maintain that relationship with them and keep in touch with them over the years. So it's beneficial to everybody.
I think that's a great idea. Thank you, Chief.
Mayor, if I may add something.
Yes, Dave.
Attorney Long, do we need to make this contingent on your final review, or you're fine with that?
No, I'm fine with it. I actually wrote the agreement a few years ago, and this just has some minor upgrades, mostly relating to the price, the inflation of the cost of living that's gone up. And we also have a provision in there that the chief wisely added to make sure that we had, it was subject to staff availability, because we have had occasional shortages, as all police offices, departments throughout the area.
Very good. Thank you, Bob. Roll call, please.
Braden.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
White.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you, Trustee Weiss. We move on to Public Works and Recreation. Trustee Marabella.
Just a motion for the request to accept the quote for Altoffer Power Systems to replace a radiator on the generator that provides backup power to the village hall and the police department.
Second.
All right, discussion?
This is just, that me and David had discussed earlier, it's just an upgrade. It's a repair that needs to be done, so we're not having more problems later. So it's just more maintenance that we haven't done that's been needed for a while.
I know it's a very old generator.
Yes.
So, yes, okay, great. Thank you. Roll call.
Braden.
Aye.
Mirabella.
Aye.
White.
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
Motion carried. So we move on to public comments. If anybody would like to address the board, we just ask that you provide us with your name and your address. Come right on up.
My name is Amy Johnson, and I live at 431 College Avenue.
Hello, Amy.
Hi. I recently received a letter written by David. In the letter, he goes over my account in an attempt to explain ongoing issues. He admits that it was I who brought an error to the attention of the village. He also admits that the village confirmed the error. But what he failed to mention in this letter was the village confirmed it months after I brought it to their attention in May, and only after I made 40 phone calls to village employees and board members, went into the Public Works building in person, sent multiple people multiple emails. I called other villages who use the same third-party accounting system, MyGovHub. I called Harris Local Government, the company who owns MyGovHub software, to ask how they operate. I made a Google spreadsheet with all of my information. I sent screenshots of every bill, billing history, payment history, usage report on my account to make a slideshow that was sent to the employees of the village. I was told by the administration not to pay my bill until they figured out the issue. I also have this on audio recording. I was given a water shut-off notice twice. Both times I called the village administration with no response. On Monday, July 10th, it was scheduled to be shut off. The Friday before at 4:30, I called one last time for the day to try and catch somebody and was told that everyone had left for the day except Deb and Kira. I was transferred to Deb, who I did not feel comfortable speaking with. Since the last time I had an interaction with her, it was very unpleasant. Deb stated she wasn't aware that the situation with my bill hadn't been taken care of, and she didn't realize that I thought she had been rude to me previously, which I find very hard to believe since I reported her unprofessional behavior to her supervisor, Julie, who replied, "What would you like me to do about it?" and also David. I contacted every single board member and Mayor Bruno himself at least twice since May, and only one board member had the decency to acknowledge with a response. The only thing I was requesting was for the village to properly document my account, meaning where they put adjustment, it should have had a description of what the payment was for. Payment for blank billing cycle, payment for blank gallons of water. Computer error was also labeled for a reason of adjustment. However, this was not a computer error, this was a human error. Had I not been so persistent, my water would have most definitely been shut off at the fault of the village. It should not be on the residents to prove that the bill is incorrect. Communication is key, one of the village employees told me. The irony here is the people who can't seem to communicate efficiently are the ones who are saying it is key.
Well, Amy, I don't remember you ever calling me.
I've made a nice spreadsheet of all the phone calls I've made. I left messages on every single board member. I posted things online and people were like, reach out to this person. And I commented, I have. They didn't respond and they didn't acknowledge that either. I have, like I said, I made multiple attempts before they went to shut my water off. I can print out my phone records proving I called multiple people multiple times. And they just kept being like, it has to be an error with the meter, it has to be something with Public Works. After they came out in February and fixed my meter, it was never a Public Works issue, it was always a billing issue. They put into my account that I made a cash payment 3 times on the same day, and I was told, oh, that was an error, but that when I was asking about other things, no, that's correct. I said, well, when my account reflects the correct things, I will pay it. And they kept saying it will adjust the next month. The next month came, and the stuff online is different from my original printouts, which I have a copy of both. The letter also stated I was billed the correct usage. I was not. I was billed for 69,000 gallons of water, but I had already previously paid for 38,000 gallons of that water, and it was not properly documented. And then they were going to charge me again, and when I brought it to Deb's attention, she said, you have to have a leak. I said, I don't have a leak. We paid Benjamin Franklin to come out multiple times. I again paid them additional $85 to come out and say I had nothing leaking. And then when I came back, and like I said, I don't understand how she didn't think I was upset when she rolled her eyes and I said, ma'am, this is your job. There's no reason for you to be so rude. She said, I'm rolling my eyes because you're not listening. And I said, I am listening, but you don't make any sense. Because like I said, there is no way that I paid over $300 and then my next bill was $600. Since then, they have corrected the errors. The billing looks correct, but the errors it just still says adjustment. It doesn't say what the adjustment was or what the error. Like I said, I just wanted it properly documented. I was never asking for them to take money off. And they didn't realize the error until I put together a spreadsheet with all of my information. Then they figured it out. But like I said, this was also months after I brought it to their attention.
But it's resolved now.
No, I still have not paid the bill, and, like I said, it was because, even in the emails that I have back and forth, she said I had to play around with the numbers. There's not some kind of system that you put in, this is how much water they use, this is how much it costs, this is how much you get. Because I'm just confused why she would have to play with the numbers if the billing is supposed to be the same every billing cycle. I do understand that the water usage went up in January, and that's where she had to play with the numbers, but again, all I wanted it to be was on paper, documented correctly, and she wrote it out by hand, and I again said, can you please type it out? And then she was giving it to me from your guys' financing system, and I was requesting it from the MyGov Hub, which she said she could not print out, which is untrue, because she has printed it out from there for me before. So that's why I called other villages, and the other village was like, if we change it, we can print it out and show it right there. But I was told that you guys cannot do that, that I have to wait until the next billing cycle before it would update on my account. Like I said, it has updated, but it's not correct.
When is our new billing coming out?
Our new bill?
That we approved, the new, not the postcard anymore, the envelope with a letter in it. When's that happening?
That's probably gonna be within the next 2 to 3 months.
So the next billing cycle, maybe, or the next one is.
I was told it would be updated when the August billing cycle came, because this has been going on since February.
Well, I'm just saying
February is
the new
when they
system.
came out.
So we get postcards now,
Mhm.
we're gonna get an actual envelope with paper inside with more detail.
But it was the computer system, which is where they said they can't correct the updates.
I don't know what answer to that.
What I recommend that you do, ma'am, is since you're documenting everything, I recommend that you take the letter that I sent you and go ahead and tell me, and go ahead and kind of redline it on the issues that you don't agree with.
I have already typed it out and sent it to the board member I've been dealing with, so I can just forward
Okay.
it to you.
Yep. And then we can go from there.
Okay. But you were also the one that I called multiple times and didn't get a response, and then when I did, you were literally like, I've been sick, what do you want me to do? Like,
Yes, that's the time- yes,
I
ma'am,
do
that's the time
understand
that you called
everybody
me,
gets sick.
that you called me, and I picked up the phone while I was in the hospital bed.
No, you did not, that's incorrect. You had called
Ma'am,
me back and I
Ma'am,
picked
I'm
up the
willing to
phone,
work
I
with
didn't
you.
call you.
I'm willing to work with you. I'm not gonna start talking about your personal finances here, because it is an account.
Okay.
I think we have a game plan together of how we're gonna move forward, which you just agreed to. If you disagree with this, go ahead and get it to me in writing, and I'll work with you to get this done. When we're talking about playing with the numbers, the issue that we have is that when we go out to read the meters, it's an electronic meter.
Correct.
So when we input that information, we can't manually input that.
So you're
So
talking
what-
about in February, I came over the day they fixed it and paid for the additional water, the day they fixed it, and it was not documented in the system.
Okay.
That was what started the entire issue, was they came out to fix the wires on the meter, and they said, actually, there was 38,000 more than we thought. So I came over to the village that day and paid in cash, and they don't have it, it's not properly documented, it just shows payment, not what the payment was for or anything. So then when the next billing cycle came out, I was billed again for what I had already paid for. And when I came in and asked about it, I was told, there's no issue, you had to have used the water. So,
Okay. If you can just go ahead and send me that letter,
okay, I will.
thank you.
Thank you, Amy. All right. We move on to unfinished business. I'll start down with trustee Marabella. That's right.
Sherlon's gonna talk about that. We have, not a lot going on, we've caught up with a lot of our stuff, we've been maintaining our, flushing our hydrants and fixing stuff, as you've seen, there's been boil orders. It's part of the maintenance, as you do maintenance and stuff, things will tend to, go bad, seals go bad and stuff, so we've been trying to catch up with that. In doing that, but we have a process now where we're actually maintaining things, so things are gonna happen. Summer fair's coming up, I'm sure, so, expand on that, I see everybody, go in there. Just once again, I wanna say them trucks are still coming down 9th Street, so just tell the kids to be aware. I walk every day to get Ava, and they're not speeding, but there's big trucks, and it'll be hard for them to stop on Main Street. All the kids cross from the park to go to the other school to get their siblings and what have you. So, the police always have a good presence there, so it's not an issue. Just we need to be aware and tell our children, just be aware when they're, because they don't cross where they should, but they're kids, and they're excited to get out of school like that. I was a kid myself, so it's, other than that, the weather's changing, and I hope everybody has a fun weekend. That's all I got.
Thank you, Trustee Marvell. Trustee White?
I have nothing.
Trustee Braden?
I have nothing either.
Okay. Trustee Whitmore?
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone who really helped and volunteered their time at Rumble in the Harbor. We had a really good turnout. I had a lot of positive feedback as bringing something new into the village, so that's really exciting. I want to thank all the people who took tons of time and, hours and days out of their lives to dedicate to that one event. Also, our carnival is already here. They're already half set up. Starts tomorrow. We've got bands Friday and Saturday. We've got pageants and cutest baby contest and watermelon eating contest and like I said, 2 different bands, and we've got lots of activities. So it's definitely a great weekend to bring the kids out and just enjoy our little community.
And no rain in the forecast.
And no rain in the forecast, which for
once.
Parks and Rec, that's huge.
Yep. Thank you, Trustee Whitmore. Next item is I just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Braden,
Aye.
Marvella,
Aye.
White,
Aye.
Whitmore.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.